All right, class, welcome back to our Team Academia episode 2. I am your humble game master, Christian. You'll hear me referred to as Chris. Here are our players. Go ahead and introduce yourself by the name we're going to call you out of game, the name we'll call you in game, and your power.
Hello, I am Screenbite, and I will be playing as character Atlas Cloth. Atlas is a humanoid, or has a humanoid animal quirk. He is part uh, rhinoceros beetle and part big dude. That's about all I got.
Two powers.
Yeah, I cheated.
Hello, my name is John. I'll be playing as Daeran Fasten. He has the quirk Sculpting, which allows him to pull up earth and stone and shape it to his will, as is necessary.
I'm Trey, and I'll be playing the character of Terry Stevens, and my quirk is laser vision.
All right, wicked cool. So, a little bit of a catch-up game for the people who are just tuning in who hadn't caught the first session. Don't know how they couldn't do that. Such a popular event. But
That definitely got recorded.
that definitely got recorded, and you'll definitely be able to watch that somewhere at some point. So last session, you guys were here for the very first day of the entrance exam ceremony. You had just finished 3 portions of the entrance exam, you fought against another team, you participated in a mild obstacle course where teams were meant to find the synergies between their quirks, and you took a written exam to gauge your knowledge and test-taking abilities. Once the test was complete and your lunch of buffalo chicken pizza, courtesy of Ruffalo Mild Wings, was digested, you were gathered back into the courtyard for what you assumed to be the final test. As you look around, you see that the students that have lasted up to this point are being split into 3 groups, with subgroups being formed among them. At this point, Present Mike comes on stage and begins announcing, "Hey! Present Mike back on the stage! What's up? Many of you have proven worthy up to this point, but there's one obstacle left between you and victory. I hope you didn't think the other challenges were hard, because this one's what we're really proud of." He raises his hands above his head and gestures to a screen which buzzes to life. On the screen are 3 different terrains, one a cityscape, one a rural town, and one an icy expanse. You'll notice that some of your teammates might have been switched around. After viewing you in action and doing a reassessment of your quirks and personality traits, we've determined that these new team compositions are more beneficial overall. Now then, to the actual challenge. The screen switches between different angles, all of which focus on a black sphere with red lines splitting horizontally and vertically. Until now, you've been competing against one another for a specific goal. Winning in a fight, winning in a race, getting the highest score. But now we're throwing a wrench into that plan. You're tasked with finding one of these spheres and returning it to the center of the battle zone. Each team will receive a compass that points to the closest sphere. What's the issue? Need a tissue? There's only 3 spheres in each of the battle zones, and with 6 teams in each zone, it's a free-for-all slam fest to be one of the teams that emerges victorious. There's mumbling around you as the new teams acquaint themselves with each other and start talking strategy. At this point, you can kind of look around at your battle group if you want. I can explain, or I can take the next minute or two to describe what your teammate, or your opponents look like.
Are we still on the same team?
Yeah, you guys are all on the same team.
Oh, I look disappointed. Sure, go ahead and tell us what the teams look like.
Cool, alright. All of the teams have been split into 3 different groups.
Okay.
So these are the people who you are going to be up against in this coming challenge. So you've got this redheaded girl with looks like black mesh between her fingers. Kind of like webbed fingers, but with black mesh. There's a guy who, he looks fairly normal, except that the veins along his arms look more pronounced, like someone who's tensing them up. You've got Turbo Teen girl who looks, she's kind of got like the short kind of tracer haircut, but she's She's got tight-fitting, like, racing clothing, and she's got her feet, which, as you might remember, come to a, like a tire, almost. Then there's the familiar team of Jif, Lauren, and Peter, Mr. Peanut Butter himself, with their tired Jif, who looks kind of like this peanut-bodied man with an overly sized head and an overly sized gut. Lauren, who looks like this just incredibly tired girl. And Peter, who looks like a regular guy pretty much, except when you get to his shins, he's got springs there as opposed to legs. Then in the other group, you've got the familiar face of Domino. You don't know his name as of right now, but the guy who's got kind of this black... The fingers almost look like dominoes in their rectangular shape, and they've got like the white pips on them. This girl who looks fairly normal, except she looks maybe a little thin, who's got this kind of dark black hair that goes down to her shoulder. And then this other person who... as I explained it last session, they kind of look like they've got just a body made out of clouds. And then the final team is this guy who's got skin that is just very dark gray. His friend who's blonde, who's got soot, it looks like, all over his body. And then this girl who looks fairly normal, except when you get to her legs, they look wider. When you get to the shins, kind of like they descend down into cones. And that is everybody who is in your battle group.
Okay.
So as you guys are kind of standing there looking at everybody, Jif and his team approach, and Jif starts out saying, "So, it looks like once again we'll be competing with each other."
I just like look at him. Mm-hmm.
As you kind of, nod and grunt to Jif, Lauren looks at you and says, "Hey, sorry about the whole sleep thing, but I think we're even what with the whole dirt spear to the head."
I tend to like give her a thumbs up. Yeah, I mean, that was a good strategy though, good use. I try to reach down to shake her hand.
She basically just misses your hand as she reaches for it. And around this time, Present Mike picks back up suddenly with a kind of a startling volume. "All right, it's time to figure out which venue you'll be fighting in." The screen display changes to that of the cityscape. Group 1, the Big Apple. By the way, I should mention you guys are Group 3.
Nice.
Okay.
Good.
The rural landscape shows up next, and he says, "Group 2, the country." And finally, it flicks to the ice area, and he says, "Group 3, the North Pole." And with that, your group is ushered onto a bus. It's big enough to fit the entire group, though Atlas is a bit of a nuisance and has an entire seat to himself.
I'm not apologizing.
And when you arrive at the venue, each team is given a compass. You are explained on the way that the compass is going to point to the nearest of the black spheres that you're supposed to recover. And as well, because of your venue's temperature, you are also given thin jackets that they explain you can press a button basically on the lapel and it will activate, and for 30 minutes it will go through a heating cycle, and it will send out a alert to the officials that, somebody might be getting in a dangerous situation with the cold and the snow and they should send help. So finally, you get an overview of the area from top down. It flashes on a screen in front of everybody. You aren't provided with a map to carry with you, but you are given a few minutes to study the map on the screen and determine your best strategy, which I will bring up the map and you can discuss it now.
We're just trying to get the orbs and then get back to the beginning, or are we just trying to hold on to them for as long as possible?
Right. So let me go ahead and explain it. The map, you kind of look at it. The areas that look of interest, you've got in the upper left-hand corner this rock that's kind of by itself, separated by this icy water. You've got what looks like a campground over in the upper right-hand with a log cabin a little bit farther to the right. And bottom left, you see what looks kind of like a tiny building surrounded, just completely blocked off by towering ice crystals. And then the area with the black outline in the middle is all elevated. So in the bottom right, you see what looks like just destroyed rubble, wood. And there's this ice bridge that connects it to this just big ice cylinder in the middle where there's a red flag. And as they've described, what your mission is to do is to go into this area, find one of those black spheres, and return it to the center, in this case, the flag. So essentially, you guys are going to be dropped right in the middle under the ice bridge. And then from that point, there's going to be about a 5-minute grace period where there's going to be no fighting each other. And you are meant to just go out and try to look for the black orbs and then try to get back. So if you want, you guys can go ahead and discuss your strategy.
Okay. Well, there are 3 things we could do. I see it. 1, go straight for the first black orb. 2, wander off and try to find the second one. Or 3, wait at the end, beat him up, take it from him.
Is the ground here, would it be all snow, or is there dirt under, or do we know?
Well, there's a couple of officials standing nearby if you want to go kind of ask them.
Yeah, I want to go to the nearest official.
All right, you see
Whenever he walks off, I say to myself, cool, it didn't matter to me anyway.
Yeah, you did kind of leave him hanging there.
Can I look out the window, see if I can spot anything, like a black orb maybe from up where we are?
Well, you are still outside of the area. So there's
Nobody
that.
wants to look through a window to see it.
Never mind.
But no, Daeran, as you kind of approach, there's what looks to be this middle-aged, tired, kind of sleep lines, little bit of wrinklage. His hair's graying somewhat. He's got some stubble. But he appears to just be wearing this police officer's uniform with his hands behind his back. And as you approach, he says, what is it?
I'd like to ask, is the area we're going to, is it all like ice and snow, or is there dirt and such underneath the snow, or what exactly?
Well, I mean, I'm sure if you dig far enough, you'll find dirt.
I mean, yeah, fair enough, I guess.
Well, from what I understand, this is as much a test of your ability to play search and find, scavenger hunt, there we go. I couldn't remember the name of the classic game. This is as much of a test as your ability to play scavenger hunt as it is your ability to adapt to a less than favorable position.
I'm gonna kind of nod. Yeah, that makes sense. And just kind of like scratch my chin as I head over back to my group. I'll sit down and look at Terry. I think we should go to the rock in the upper left area.
Do we have the compass already, Chris, or are they going to give that to us?
You've got the compass, but right now it's just pointing in the vague area of the testing ground.
Okay. Like it hasn't turned on yet or anything?
Well, it looks like it's turned on in as much as like it is pointing to the inside of the building.
Okay.
But since you're outside, it's hard telling like you're not getting a bead on anything.
And unless, of course, there doesn't happen to be anything up there, in which case, I don't know what all I could do.
Look,
No.
normally I'd just go and I'd get it myself and I'd get to the end. Doesn't matter. But since I'm trying to get into the school for sure, I'm going to have to work with you guys. So let's just go to the first one if you're not sure of what you can do.
Yeah. I kind of nod and just give a thumbs up. And let's hope we don't have too much trouble there.
I
Around
just
this
slam
time.
my fist into a palm. Just ready to go.
Around this time, Jiff walks back up to you and he says, so what do you think you guys are gonna do first?
Win.
Don't know. What are you gonna do first, Jiff?
Well, I think one of the more obvious strategies is to just wait by the ice bridge for people to try to cross it.
Yeah, that's a pretty good strategy if you're a punk.
Yeah. That ain't gonna work against anybody who just hop right up there.
Well, it looks like the only person with hopping powers is my buddy Peter here, so I don't
kinda
think we have
shrugged.
to worry that much about that. Though I never said that was our strategy. I just said that would be the most obvious.
Right.
Yeah.
I never called you a punk.
He kind of sneers at you and he's like, I'm not sure I like your tone, Terry.
All right. Well, then leave. Whatever, man.
You're gonna rue the day when you get nutted.
I just look at him with like kind of a crooked head. Like, are you sure that's the way you want to describe this?
He kind of blushes. A little bit of an orange comes to his face as he is peanut butter themed, and
Jesus.
he huffs away and walks away. So around this time, the policeman, the middle-aged officer that you were talking to, Daeran, he kind of goes in front of the whole crowd and he blows his whistle and waves his hand and says, "All right, is there any more questions before we send you out into the battle zone?" All right, good. And with that, you are all kind of taken to each of your teams is taken to an elevator, and the elevator takes you up quite a ways, probably about like, I don't know, what's high, like 500 feet. That sounds big.
That's pretty damn high.
That's very high.
And you are now on the ceiling of the battle zone, and you are each given a parachute.
Oh.
And they say, you're not going to be
Oh
able
my
to
God.
steer these very well. You're just going to land roughly in the center of the map. Sorry for the PUBG correlation there.
I was just
Yeah.
thinking.
I just now thought of that. But don't worry about the parachutes failing, because the snow is thick enough that you could fall from this height and probably only suffer a few broken bones.
Holy crap! It's gonna be
Oh.
terrible to walk.
I look at
Yeah.
Atlas.
Atlas has been provided with
No
3
crap.
parachutes.
I'm probably still gonna hit the floor first.
So, with that, you are all placed in the center, and they say, go ahead and brace yourselves, because as soon as we pull this lever, the floor is going to fall out from under you.
I kind of shakily have my hands on my parachute and get ready.
Can we
Uh,
run over to other parts of the map before we drop, or
No, you are all going to drop relatively in the center.
I
got
think
it?
I think I'm gonna lay on my stomach and like mock like I'm swimming.
You actually, there are quite a few students who look at you and just like start laughing and giggling. One of them is Turbo Teen, who
Nice.
yeah, she thinks that's pretty funny. After a few seconds of tense waiting, the lever is pulled. You hear a ka-chunk as the floor just falls out from under you, and you all start plummeting. And you see, in this moment, as you are kind of like flailing around and looking at everybody fall, that one of the teams, the one with the gray-skinned kid and his other friends, they all huddle together and grab onto each other, and the girl in that team, fire just starts emitting from her legs, and they just zoom to the upper right-hand part of the map. Similarly to that, Domino's team, they all huddle together, seeing that, thinking that's a good idea, and the girl who looks thin becomes thinner and thinner until you recognize her as the girl who could turn into a kite. And the cloud person just starts blowing wind, and they start steering to the bottom left of the map. Jiff, he appears to just be falling along with you, as well does Turbo Teen's team. But yeah, you see that happen, so now you know for sure, upper right and bottom left, there are teams going in that direction, and they are likely going to get there first. So as you land, Atlas...
Well, actually, before we do that, I was gonna ask if I could grab onto the other two, maybe unhinge a parachute or two of mine.
Yeah, you go ahead and you grab onto the other two, and I don't know what with your teeth you pull the parachute cord.
I don't know. I assumed I would just rip it off with my, big beetle hands.
Your big beetle hands, your Beetleborg hands. But yeah,
Yes.
you pull the parachute cord and you all start falling a little bit faster than you're comfortable with. What with the weight not only of your two teammates but of your like 3-person density.
I was given
Realize
extra
he grabbed a
parachutes,
hold of us.
You were given extra parachutes.
and I think 3 might have been overcompensating.
2 of them were to slow your fall. 1 was in case one of them failed. But your descent slows down enough where even if you hit the ground a little harder than you should, the snow's gonna cushion you. And as you land, kind of on either side, the teams land kind of either side of the bridge itself only being about 20 feet across. You look down at your compass, and it would seem that the closest one to where you are. Well, which side of the bridge did you land on? This is an important distinction. Left or right?
I assumed we land on the left side, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I vote left.
Yeah, left was what I had going for me in my brain. So it would seem the closest one is to the bottom left from your current position.
I kind of look at the other guys. At the worst, we could always circle around and see if it changes direction to there, and I point to what would be the upper left corner of the area.
All right, no big deal.
I'm down with that.
How thick's the snow here?
The snow is about 5 feet tall. It's plenty thick.
I want to start. I just want to start like using my laser beams to just sort of get rid of it as we're going, make the walk a little easier.
Yeah,
I
no,
don't know
yeah.
how easy it's gonna make it.
No, yeah. With that, you successfully kind of burn away the snow enough that Atlas is still brushing it on either side, and it's still kind of getting up to your ankles. But you successfully create kind of this little pathway for you to walk, so that you can avoid getting just completely soaked down with snow.
Is there dirt being revealed?
I want to reach down as far as I can through the snow, hopefully hitting dirt.
It looks like there's about like a half inch to 1 inch thick layer of just kind of packed snow. But you figure if you dug hard enough or you kind of kicked at the ground hard enough, you would reveal dirt under there.
Are my feet prints dirt?
Well, you're just kind of packing snow in farther.
Damn it.
But if again, kind of like little bits of grass are like poking up through the frozen layer.
So yeah, I want to reach down, just kind of like claw away or punch through the snow and pull out like another staff of dirt and just carry it along as a tool or weapon if I need it.
Yeah, no, yeah, easy enough. You kind of you try with your fingers, but your hands are starting to get pretty cold, so you just kind of kick at the dirt until you've left a big enough scuff mark, and you reach down and give me a roll for your power, because this dirt is very cold and hard to work with because of all the moisture in it. It's gonna be easy, but just to kind of see. No, yeah, that's plenty enough to kind of get this done. So you pull out this rod. There's a couple. When it's about 4 or 5 inches out of the ground, you have to restart a couple times because the water and the ice in it kind of makes it fall apart. But after it splutters a little bit, you finally get a solid spear out of the ground. Or
Wonderful.
staff, moreover.
Yeah, just a long rod, basically.
All right. Sure enough, as you get to about halfway around the cylinder, your compass starts to lean away until it is pointing in the direction of the upper left-hand part of the map.
Yep.
I outwardly sigh in relief and lead the way.
And remember,
I mean,
there are only 3 of these in this map, and there are 6 teams, including yours. So
Right.
Yeah. So how's this order going? Just as far as running, by the way, I assume.
I'm still in the front. I assumed carving a path.
I figured I'd be in the back. Just
you guys
Right.
probably had to stop for a second so that Daeran could get his staff up
Never
and maintain
stopped.
the order.
yeah.
Kept going.
Okay, so Atlas and Daeran stopped for a second to get the staff, but you kind of half jogged up to catch up with Terry.
I just, because I figured having me walling off would be best.
Right. And as you're walking, you hear a ding, ding, ding. And there is a voice that comes over an intercom that says, "The 5-minute grace period is over. Remember not to injure each other too bad."
Oh, good. I thought that was someone already made it to the goal.
Yeah.
I thought it was the bell of somebody actually got hurt. I kind of hold my staff a little harder, looking around as much as I can, make sure nobody's following us.
You thought it was the cannon from Hunger Games? Someone from District 4 has died.
Oh no!
18 players and 17 remain.
So, as you are walking around this cylinder, you're about to pass completely by it when you suddenly hear a thwoing above you, and looking up, you see as Peter Pogo has jumped, hit the side of the cylinder, and then jumped away. And there's a second of, like, confusion.
Shoot him down.
And then snow starts falling from the cylinder, snow and chunks of ice, all falling in your direction. I'm gonna need an athletics roll.
This is from the cylinder in the center, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you fine with me trying to shoot it, or do you just want me to roll
That's-
athletics?
You can do that, yeah.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
So, as this just huge chunk of snow and ice is falling down in your
Do you want
direction.
me? Do you want me to also roll athletics to try to not get hit?
Oh no, you're good.
Okay.
So, as this huge chunk of snow and ice is falling in your direction, Daeran and Atlas, you just get covered in it. You're going to take 1 stress, and you are going to have an aspect called chilled. So you guys are just covered neck deep. Okay, if I say it like that, what I should say is, Daeran, you're completely covered, and Atlas, you're covered neck deep in the snow and ice. And Terry, with this one kind of prolonged blast, you have made this perfect circle where it falls around you.
I'm gonna try and dig through the snow to get Terry out.
Yeah, and that's easy
Daeran?
enough.
Darren, my bad.
It's fine.
That's easy enough to do. You kind of just like push the snow away, and it kind of just falls to either side, and you presume Darren's location by the
Yeah, just where we were in relation to each other.
where you were in relation to each other, and also the like half-inch of dirt staff you can see still poking out from the top of the snow.
Is Peter Pogo gone?
He looks gone. He looked like he was headed off back in the direction of the bottom left of the map. You can kind of see like a dust cloud of snow where he landed, but otherwise the snow is so thick and this area is so hilly that all you know is the direction he went in and not his exact location.
All right. So are we gonna go and get the thing, or are we gonna go beat up Peter Pogo and make sure that Jif doesn't win this?
I'd rather
I just
brushing off
point
snow
forward
myself.
towards the rock.
I'd rather go get the thing.
Yeah, me too. But I'm gonna get that Pogo loser later on.
If you run into him later, and he'll regret his decision.
Feel free.
All right, so you start continuing on your way, and as you kind of crest past the cylinder and start walking, you make it to the ice river. It looks like it's about 15 to 20 feet across, and interspersed in the water are big sections of ice that look like they may or may not support just a regular person's weight. You're almost certain they're not going to support Atlas's weight.
So I turn to him and I'm like, "You stay on this side for a minute."
Okay.
Kind of shrug. Just make sure nobody gets past.
Got it. And just turn around like a sentinel, arms crossed. Just at the ready.
And I attempt to cross.
Yep, going across it.
All right. So I'm going to need athletics rolls.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
So as soon as he falls in the water, because that's gonna happen.
As it does, yes.
I was just gonna before you did the description, I was just gonna whenever I hear the splash, I just keep going and I just be like, Atlas, could you do something about that?
So yeah, so Terry, you almost effortlessly, you kind of hop from iceberg to iceberg getting to the other end. You understand that it's not going to be able to support your weight for long, so you don't give it the opportunity to give out from under you. Daeran, you were kind of a little more tepid about it, so you kind of landed on the first one to see how it would feel, and that 1 second of trepidation was all it took for it to just completely capsize on you.
How far off from the shore is he?
Not far.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
just turn around and grab him out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold my staff out so he can pull me up. And as he pulls me up, I just want to like, I really don't like this place. It's too icy.
It's cool.
Bam. Wordplay.
Those jackets, they have to send an emergency signal to use them, right?
No.
Or can you just use them to warm up?
You know what? On second thought, they have 2 buttons on them. One to heat and one to send a warning signal.
Okay.
So you can go ahead and activate one or the other or both.
I'm just gonna, gesture. I assume he's wearing.
Yeah, no, yeah. You've all got yours is kind of specially made out of 2 of
Yeah.
them. But yeah, you definitely all are wearing them.
I'm just gonna point to the button on it.
I kind of press the button.
Oh, Daeran, by the way, I'm gonna need you to take another physical stress from being frozen.
Oh boy.
But because you've activated your jacket, you no longer have the chilled aspect, but right now you have the waterlogged aspect.
I ain't liking this, Atlas. I ain't liking this one bit.
That's what's on the other side of this thing.
As you get to the other side, you see the rock is still a little bit of a ways off, probably just about 2 minutes a walk in the direction.
Screw walking. We need to go fast. Need to get it now.
Okay, so
Can I go first?
as Atlas and Daeran are kind of discussing their best way of getting across, you find at the base of this big rock, after kind of burning a path with your laser vision, there is a fairly large, about 5 by 5 feet wide, big cellar door that looks like it's at the base of this rock.
Does it look like there's a padlock or anything on it?
No, it looks completely unblocked.
Okay, all right. I'll just open her up.
All right, you open it up, and it looks like it's about a maybe 10 to 20 feet drop into this area, and it is very dark.
Can I, if I fire a few shots at here, could I try to make out anything down there? Just to like try to tell where the ground is, or like, oh, there's a thing.
Yeah, you fire a couple shots down there, pew pew, and looking in as the light kind of illuminates just a little bit, it looks like it's about a 15-foot drop, and as far as you can tell, it looks like there are containers of some sort to the left and the right of the room, but that's about all you can tell from just your top-down view into it.
Okay.
So I want to take my staff and poke through the water. I'd say my staff is probably about as tall as Daeran is.
Okay.
Darren's like 5'5", 5'6".
Okay.
So I want to just poke the staff down into the water and see if I can see how deep it is.
All right. So as you do that, you see that this was an artificial river made by the people who made this area, so it's not actually that deep. If it weren't for your panic, you would have realized that it's really only about 5 feet deep. But just the sheer panic, the falling, the flailing, you didn't really have time to gauge that, oh, I can actually stand up here if I'm willing to, like, straighten my body out and reach for the ground.
I look over at Atlas. How wide is this river?
It's about, it's wider at certain points. At its thinnest area, it's about 10 feet.
I look at Atlas and point over towards what would be the thinnest area I can see and be like, you think you could walk through that if I'm on your back? And do you think you'd be okay? Like, feel how cold the water is? You think you'd be good? I give him a thumbs up.
Can I dip a beetle toe in the water and test it out?
Yeah, so you go ahead and you dip one of your chitinous appendages into the water.
Claws.
It's really frigid. You figure you would probably be okay for a couple steps, but it would probably get real cold real quickly. You think you might be able to circumvent taking any damage from it if you activate your jackets, or if Atlas you've got 2 on, so that's why I say jackets.
Yeah.
If you activate your jackets, you'd probably be able to stay warm enough to not take any damage, but you would definitely still get wet.
That seems like a
But it is
fair
an
enough
option.
trade. Gonna go ahead, give him a thumbs up, slam the buttons on both vests, and just kind of hoist him onto my shoulders, or I guess atop my head, so he can
Your
hold
head's
on
big
to the
enough
beetle
that he can
horn.
kind of hold on around it.
Yeah, just let him hold on to the beetle horn. I don't know. We'll try this out.
Oh, he's got like his butt on the top of your head, both legs on your shoulders, and he's just holding
Yeah.
either side of the rhinoceros horn. Or
Yeah,
the
Well, I'll be
rhinoceros
holding it with
horn.
like one hand and have the staff in the other. And so
Yeah,
when I
Lead him into the charge.
poked the bottom, was I able to tell if it was dirt, stone, metal, ice, or what? Or
It
not
seemed
at
to be
all.
dirt.
So I want to try something
Okay.
that I'd say Daeran hasn't actually tried, but he's trying to think of ways to get past this.
Okay.
So I don't know if the quirk would like this, but he wants to stab his staff into the ground and try to lift ground up with his staff, making like a pillar, just as a test, basically.
Okay. All right. So you go ahead and roll your power. You're just doing this kind of as a test to see if it's even a thing.
Let's see if
that you
I can
do.
like channel it through the staff and use it from there.
Okay. It doesn't work at first. You kind of just repeatedly jab it as Atlas is slowly tromping across the way. But you bring your staff up to kind of look at it to see if you brought any dirt up with it. And you see that the bottom of it is, because it's been in the water, it's starting to dissolve a little bit. And as you shove that into the ground, the dirt mixes a little bit with the dirt on the bottom of the river. And you bring that out one more time to look at it, and you're not sure if it just connected just because it's mud and dirt, but you've got about a grapefruit-sized wad of muddy dirt at the bottom of it now. You're not sure if that was your quirk or if that was just mud.
It's too muddy down there for me to do much. You doing good, Atlas? How cold is it?
Your motorboat.
I want to look down to see if he's starting to get a little too cold, shiver or anything.
Um,
I mean, Atlas is definitely not at his peak performance levels right now, but you're almost to the end of the river now, and as you kind of both drag, Daeran first, you get off, and then Atlas, with a mighty heave, pulls himself out from the water. He looks wet, but it looks like some of the water is steaming off of him against the jacket. So he looks
I'm gonna
like
try to shake some of the water off like a dog.
Yeah, so you do that, you kind of shake the water off. And
I like sigh in relief.
he looks a little wet, but he looks warm enough that you don't really worry about him too much. And as you've completed doing that, you start making your way back to Terry.
So you said it's just like a rock with a cellar door here, or what?
Yeah, it's a rock, and at the base of it, at the bottom, like next to the rock, not like on the rock, is a cellar door.
I want to like walk around the cellar door and just like looking at the compass and seeing if it's pointing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm walking around it to be like, gosh, is that where it is, or am I going to jump in here and it's going to be behind the stupid rock?
Right. So as you start walking around the rock, It's definitely not pointing at the cellar door. It looks like it's still pointing kind of a little bit to the north of the map. But as you start following it, eventually you reach a point where it just completely turns around and starts pointing south again.
All right, so it's down there. So I make my way back toward the cellar door.
And about the time you do that, Atlas and Daeran have made it back to you.
How good are you with your power there, boy? And I point to Daeran.
I think I'm pretty all right. What do you need me to do?
All right, it's about a 15-foot fall down. You think we can soften that up a bit?
I look at him. I can try something. I have a slight idea. I don't know I can get rid of the entire fall, but
Well, it's down there, so the fall doesn't really matter a whole lot, I guess. You can get us back up. That's the more important part.
I'm sure I can. And I give him a thumbs up.
All right.
All right, so the cellar doors are already open. So in what order are you guys going to jump down there?
Describe this fall again for me real quick. This pit.
It's
Ooh,
about,
if we're all going in at once, we should jump in, but like Atlas should have a hold of us and be flapping his little wings.
I have an idea.
At least like
Yeah.
cinematically.
I basically want to know, are the walls, like, how wide is this pit, and are the walls dirt, stone, or, etc. I want to know the walls, not the ground. Like, the walls of the pit. Because
Oh.
we're hopping out from an edge of the pit, aren't we?
well, you're coming down a cellar door that leads
Oh,
directly
okay.
down
I
into the
see.
pit. So you can't really see the walls from where you're
All right.
at.
I have a
see.
potentially very stupid question.
Do it.
I grabbed them and pulled only like a few of my parachutes, I had assumed. Do I still have
It's a
some?
15-foot fall. It wouldn't end up mattering. Sorry.
This drop is not far enough
Listen,
that a parachute
anything
would
to
have
help.
Right.
I'm just...
No, I get it.
What you are suggesting is essentially that the parachute will come out and then be a nice blanket for you guys to cuddle on the ground with.
It'll
Yeah.
cover our corpses beautifully.
Yeah.
I mean, this fall it's a little steep, but you figure if you jump intentionally, you would probably be able to pretty much no problem just kind of land.
I kind of shrug and hop down.
All right. There's a
I jump down
sickening
after
crunch sound as Daeran starts screaming, "Ah, my leg!"
Do you want me to roll like athletics to like roll with it, or you just want me to fall and take it?
No, you guys fall, and again, it's kind of thing where as long as you're jumping intentionally, you kind of land, and I mean it hurts a little bit, but not enough to actually hurt you. Just kind of
Okay.
a little tweak in your leg, but you walk it off. Atlas, you come down and
Flutter down.
dung,
Little
into the
wings
ground.
flapping.
And as you do, lights on the walls, little lights, bar lights, shimmer to life. They're a little dim. They're flickering a little bit. But you figure either something about you just coming in here, it has activated these lights.
Do I still have my staff, or...
Yeah, you've got it.
And now it has a big clump at the end.
Yeah, so let me go ahead and move you to the map so that you can see as well.
Hmm.
Alright, so this is the room. To the left and right, you see little storage boxes, and directly ahead of you, you see a door.
I'll see if I can bust open one of these storage boxes.
Yeah, go ahead and, which one are you busting open?
I'll do the one immediately to the right of me.
Gotcha.
Just,
So you reach down, and your intention is to bust it open, however you see that there's just a push button release to it. So choose which method you are going to take.
I'll uncurl the fist and just...
Boop. Gotcha. So, with a teeny little huff of air, a little opens up, and when you look inside, it looks like half half-eaten food rations, kind of like the ready-to-eat meals or meals ready to eat, whatever the military thing is.
MRE.
MREs.
There you go. And little sealed off water and rations. It looks like, from what you can tell, at least from this room, this was probably like designed to look like a bunker of some sort, like a bomb shelter almost.
Like, I want to be looking in there with him and nod, and I'm gonna just press the button on this one and wonder if it's the same stuff.
Yeah, it open, and inside you see, similar to the other one, just this one's mostly cleaned out, and in the center of it you see a little cloth baby doll with a plastic head and like the messed up eyes that baby dolls get.
Nope.
I just back up from that one, turn around, and cautiously press the button on this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same.
Where's the compass say? Where's the compass pointing to?
It is pointing directly northward.
All right, then I just keep going. They can play with
just
boxes.
curiosity.
Right. You guys open the other containers, and they look like they've been completely cleaned out. Terry, as you are starting to walk towards the door, make a notice roll for me.
Okay. Oh
Hey,
no!
You did it,
I
Trey!
don't see anything. It's dark in here.
A 0. That's not great. No, yeah, you get to the door, and it looks like there's just kind of a button on the side, and you push it, and it just slides open, and then a secondary door behind that one at this roughly the same time, just about a half second after, shooks open as well.
Okay.
It leads into a very small little hallway with doors front, left, and right. And as Daeran and Atlas, I almost forgot your name, start trying to follow you, I want you both to also make notice rolls.
Actually, before we go, I wanted to pick up that doll.
Oh, in that case, you don't have to make the notice rolls.
Oh.
Because as you
Oh,
go to
no.
pick up the doll, it is standing in the box with its little doll hands on the walls of the box, staring at you with its messed up eyes.
I'm just gonna go ahead and pick it up and put a very tight grip on it. Make sure it doesn't move a whole lot anymore.
Alright, you do, and you kind of hear like a...
I'm not crushing it.
Yeah, I get it.
Okay.
But as you're holding it, just from the doll, you hear like a...
I'm
this
just gonna-
weird gurgling moaning sound.
Terror!
I'm gonna walk ahead with it in front and just kind of point it at each door and see how it reacts. I don't know what I'm doing.
No, you don't.
You're pointing at each door, but it looks like it's reacting in the same way. Just
Alright,
with the
pop its head off.
Yeah. Easy enough, you do. You just pop its head right off, and like this wispy white smoke almost comes out of it and just disappears through the northmost door.
Do we see this?
Did I just release a demon?
Yeah, you guys. He very clearly was like holding it in front of him and pointing it at doors. You definitely see it, and you definitely notice the fog.
I was looking at this door in front of me, trying to get in here at the time.
But yeah, at least Daeran definitely sees it.
I just look at Atlas with wide eyes and hold my staff at the ready, terrified.
Did the wisp go to any door in particular, or did it just kind of dissipate into the air?
It was going towards the northmost door, but it looked like it became almost completely invisible by the time it was passing past Terry. To the point where Terry might even just mistake it for his own breathing. As you can kind of see your own breath down here.
Terry, you said you were already going through the front door?
Yeah, I was doing it whenever you guys were playing with boxes, because I'm like, just to myself, like, what the heck are they even doing?
I'm gonna
Just like the compass says it's this way.
follow him through. Just be ready for any demonic dolls that pop out.
Gotcha. That
Did
required
not
me-
think we'd be playing Ghostbusters and The My Hero universe.
Oh.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So in the center of this little area, you see standing about 2 foot tall, with its arms behind its back and this grin on its face.
As soon as I see it, I shoot it.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me your shooty shoot.
Oh my gosh! So those were all negatives, by the way. 4 negatives.
The
Jeezy
doll
crazy.
consumes it.
So you shoot, and it just kind of goes between its legs, and the doll doesn't even flinch, and it looks up at you and bats its eyes and says, "Oh, hello there."
Oh, hi. I just keep walking.
As you start walking, it comes forward in front of you and says, "Welcome to the bunker. What brings you here? I should warn you. Not many rational minds call this place their home."
Well, I'm not looking to live here. Just looking to get a thing and get out.
I'm afraid that probably will not be as easy as you were hoping. Especially not if you're as good as you seem to be with those laser eyes.
That is a warning shot.
I'm
I'm
sure.
gonna start following him.
Yeah, same.
Well, I did just come here to warn you. I need to leave now. Goodbye.
All right. And I just
Hold
keep
out
following
the-
the compass and act like there wasn't like a little monster doll, man.
I hold out the headless doll.
Oh. It looks at it and says, Yeah, that makes sense.
I just point to it, and then to him, kind of like are you responsible for this? Like back and forth.
I'm not sure what you're trying to get at there, bud.
I pick him up.
Well, this is fun. Now I'm up here.
Are you real doll?
Yes? I mean, I'm made of plastic and cloth, baby. I don't know what you want.
I am so confused.
Anyway, where's the compass say to go?
Yeah, I'm just gonna take him with us.
I'm just keeping my distance, like back against the wall, as I go around this doll towards Terry.
Alright. So as the compass is still pointing just farther northward, it looks like this hall extends into a bigger area. And as you're walking, the doll says, "So what is it that you're looking for? I might be able to help you out."
It's just some sort of black ball we're looking for, right?
Orb.
Yeah.
Oh, I've seen one of those. As he says, "I've seen one of those," and you start following the compass, you notice that the compass is now pointing in a different direction. It's pointing to the left.
All right, where is it?
Oh, it's around.
Great. Then I go left.
I'm gonna go left through this door.
So as you both simultaneously open up these doors, they appear to
Yeah.
hold what look like oversized car batteries that I have probably mistakenly marked with nuclear symbols.
Hopefully.
But they look almost like big generators, except without the whole like gasoline and smoke and monoxide poisoning.
I'm gonna look over the doll. So are you the only doll puppet
Inhabited.
thing here?
Well, I guess there's one less now.
But how many are there?
Sorry.
I haven't been keeping track. I've just been keeping watch of the main hallway.
So there's more than you. There's more of them.
Likely. What?
You've confirmed
like-
there's more than one.
Yes.
Is there like? So are these just car batteries here, or are they big like nuclear generators?
They look like giant batteries.
The way it looks to me is looks like there should be panels on it. Are there panels on this?
I mean, yeah, there are panels on it.
All right. I guess I'm gonna try to take the panel off here, or see if there's any way. I guess not really.
I mean, without a screwdriver, not really. In response to Daeran's inquiry, the whole "will they hurt us" thing, he says, some of them might. Not everyone's of a like mind down here. Well,
But-
I guess that's not entirely true. We are all of a like mind, but not of a like, personality.
Personality?
Hey, there you go. Bingo, buddy.
And you're a nicer one, yeah?
I'm the rational, yes.
That's good.
Mastermind?
No, there's not really one of those around here. I wouldn't say any of us really qualify as that.
Ghosts.
Ghosts aren't real, buddy.
Oh.
I guess I'm just gonna like step over that. How big are these?
They're like 2 by 3 each. 2 wide, 3 long.
All right, I guess I'm just gonna try to step on or over them and see if there's anything else in here. Because this is where the stupid compass is pointing.
There doesn't appear to be anything else. Do keep in mind, there are more doors that go left.
I'm just gonna scratch my chin and look at the doll, like squint.
And he squints back at you.
I have an idea for what's going on here.
Wicked! Lay it on me, home slice.
I look over at Terry. Hey, which way is the compass pointing? Pointing.
Loudly back to him. Still left.
So I have an idea. There is another doll over there that was watching us, and then you're here. I feel like you can all see through each other's eyes, right? Like, you can see what they see, they can see what you see, or somebody can see it all. I'm just scratching my head, thinking.
I mean, I guess that about sums it up, kind of.
So you could be keeping an eye on us.
Well, someone is.
I covered the
And-
doll's eyes.
There's another doll around here, probably carrying the thing we're looking for, running around in accordance to whichever way we're going to avoid us.
Well, that's awfully, presumptuous of you.
It's just an idea, a thought.
Chris, what's in this room?
So in that room, it appears to be a large desk with a computer on it, keyboard, other sundries, big terminals up on the wall. One of them appears to be a power readout that's reading at about 23% right now. It looks like there should be other readouts for like food and water level, but that those have been completely... they still say 100%, but from your previous viewing of the pods that we're containing, you figure it probably just hasn't been being updated. As well, there appears to be a terminal in the right-hand side that has a readout of names, but that all of the names appear to be grayed out and say evacuated.
Okay. I'm gonna toss the doll to Daeran and then
Woo!
walk here. And you said that there was a door here going left, right?
No, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna go through there.
In this room, there appears to be a very large and whirring machine, but it sounds like it's sputtering out a little bit and very slightly smoking. And then there appear to be 2 very large storage containers.
Oh. Is there any way to like a hatch or something to open on the little generator right here?
You
to
look
check
at it,
in.
and it actually appears to be more of a an air filtration device as opposed to a generator.
Any way to open it up?
There does appear to be a little panel where you can slide it to the right and then pop it off in the front hand side of it.
I'm gonna go ahead and do that.
Alright, and you
Let's see if there's a doll body stuck in here.
go ahead and roll notice for me.
Oh no.
So as you peer in there, you determine with absolute certainty there is no doll body just hiding in there to pop out at you.
Good.
However, at the same time,
Oh no.
you see standing on top of the container,
Jesus.
3 doll bodies staring down at you, each of which appear to be kind of bouncing to a different beat. And you listen for a tense moment as one of them is like hum singing a hard rock kind of melody. One of them is hum singing what appears to be September by Earth, Wind, and Fire. One of them is humming classical music. You figure Beethoven, Bach, or something like that.
I'm gonna step towards him, Do they scatter?
No, they're still staring down at you.
I'm gonna. Can I reach them from where, like, without climbing on the top?
How tall are you?
6. Let's just establish the cannon height, right? Just say 6'2".
Yeah, you can reach them. It's only about an 8-foot tall storage container, so if you get on your tiptoes, you could reach one of them.
All right, I'll try to grab as many of them as I can. Get them all in one little side swipe.
All right, so as you try to do that, you grab one of them, and
Oh no!
you grab the one that was singing September by Earth, Wind, and Fire, and it sounds like it's starting to hum the chorus, and about this time, all of their mouths, with kind of a sickening crack, because you figure these baby dolls are not designed to open their mouths.
Jesus Christ!
They snap, sending little tiny bits of plastic in just different directions, and they start screaming, each screaming their own little melody of their song. I need you to roll will for your mental defense. Yeah, go ahead and take 2 points of mental stress as these things are just screaming right into your ear. Just
Alright, so immediately I crush the one singing Earth Wind and Fire in my hand.
yeah, and easy enough, just
Yeah.
the plastic goes everywhere, the cloth body falls harmlessly, and the white puffy smoke dissipates back towards the upper area.
Just alive. Grab the other 2 that are on there and just kind of pop them as well.
Alright, so go ahead and roll your fight. We're just going to roll 1 for both of them. So you
Revenge!
quickly, with very little opposition, it looks like they were trying to run away, but their stubby little baby legs didn't help them very much. And you grab both of them and just smash with a big clap of your huge hands. The plastic flies everywhere, the bodies flop to the ground, and 2 more puffs of white smoke fluff away.
So from like Daeran's perspective, do they go into the doll he's holding? Like, does that happen or?
No.
Okay.
Do I even notice them at all? Or do they dissipate before I can?
Well, you heard them scream, and then
No, you
bunch of
definitely
crashing.
heard them scream, but you didn't see the puffs of smoke. It doesn't seem like they came in your direction.
Did I see if they went in any specific direction?
It looked like they disappeared into the wall, the north wall.
Are there any vents?
Oh yeah, you see 2 vents just in this room. One of the vents seemed to be right above those storage containers.
God damn it.
So
I'm just gonna scream to the room, or I guess, down the hallway real quick. Vents!
Oh no.
So Terry, what are you up to?
I'm in here with all the computer gizmos. And I guess I'm just still like, man, this compass sucks.
But I screamed vents.
As you are looking at the compass, it changes direction again, and now it's pointing to the bottom right from your position.
Fine. And I just turn around and I start walking back.
Daeran, how are you doing with the doll?
I look at it. After I hear vents, I just look.
John, which direction are you facing?
I'm facing south towards the doll. I'm looking right at him. And I uncover his eyes and look at him and just glare at him. And then I'm assuming I'd hear the footsteps behind me as Terry.
Yeah, easy enough. You hear Terry just kind of clink, clink, clink walking up as his feet go against the metal.
I cover the doll's eyes again, look at Terry. Did the compass change?
I look at the compass.
It is pointing to the right as Terry is standing there.
Sure did.
I look at the doll.
Go toward this right door.
So am I right?
What?
So am I right?
About what?
About you have another doll around here running around with the thing we're looking for. Am I correct? Or maybe it's not a doll or something. You have something around here hiding it. Yeah?
Ah!
You know, I could just give you to my beetle friend over there. And I point towards, point past him towards the door.
And I step into the hole.
I point at him.
I mean, yeah, I suppose you could. That sure would blow for me, huh? Well, blow
Yeah.
me down. Popeye says that sometimes.
So Atlas, what was that screaming?
3 babies.
My eyes. My eyes go wide.
Dolls.
Dolls? Okay. So there are hostile ones.
Oh.
Events. Climb. Scary.
Yeah, they do that sometimes.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I look at the ventriloquist dummy. Do you feel pain?
This place is a real haunted house, ain't it?
I asked a question.
Yeah. You sure
do?
did.
Do you feel pain?
I don't know. I haven't tried.
I set him down gently, against this wall, and I kind of hold the staff up and just glare at the doll as I step forward and open the door to my right.
Man, what's gotten up your britches?
You're very...
Was it snow? I bet it was snow.
Actually, yeah, it was.
So whenever I see it's just another stupid battery, I want to shoot at it.
Oh shit.
Okay.
You don't even want to back up.
Whatever.
Death is inevitable.
It's just I don't like how... I look at him before I open the door. I don't like how cryptic you're being. You're not being very helpful here.
I
And
never
there's-
said I would
it's-
be.
This isn't like a shot to destroy it. It's more just me being frustrated. It's like the equivalent of me just punching it.
Right. Okay, so
I mean-
yeah, you
I'm not gonna roll anything for it. It's just to be
Yeah.
fuck.
you wink at it, and that little soot mark
It
is there,
blushes.
but nothing too bad.
Mm-hmm.
Daeran, this room, you see what appears to be medium-sized storage containers to the north and south. How far in are you walking?
I just looked in. I look back at Atlas. I want to look at this. I'm gonna take a step forward and kind of poke one of the containers with the heavier end of my staff.
Walk forward.
I'll poke the north container.
I grab Chucky on my...
You poke the north container, and you hear a little... Huh?
My eyes go wide, and I hold my staff ready to smack whatever comes out of that container.
You hear a thump as something is hitting the inside of the container, but it doesn't appear to be able to open it from here.
Are you gonna hurt us?
Who's out there? I'll kill you!
I look at Atlas. No, you won't.
Oh, I definitely will when I get my hands around your skinny neck!
Jesus Christ.
Nah,
Am I insane?
I don't believe you.
Oh, you
probably
don't
just
believe me, huh? You want to
Yeah.
throw hands? You want to prove it right now? Come at me!
I'm gonna go ahead and walk past him, just right next to it, and try.
I'm talking about
I wanna
it's this
see if I
container.
can. Oh, the one to your left.
Yeah.
I want to see if I can just punch that thing super hard,
Okay.
rattle it up.
Roll physique. Yeah, you go for a big wind up and you. Thum, wing, wing,
I don't think he's that skinny.
It kind of echoes into the building, and you hear, ah, ah. I'm just kidding. I don't have ears, idiot.
I'm gonna jab at the other container, the one on my right, and see if there's any other difference.
You thung into that one. It doesn't appear to have anything inside. At least nothing's making noise.
I sigh in relief and take another step forward, and still is cautiously around the northern container. Just have my staff at the ready in case anything happens.
Gotcha. Atlas, are you following suit?
I have Chucky in my hand.
Oh, right.
I'm just gonna see if I can get him to talk around this doll. See if I can get anything. I'm just gonna say, friend.
No, yeah, I mean, that'd be, anger.
I look at the doll.
What's up, Saber?
Anger?
Well, we're all part of some personality. He's the angry one.
Oh.
We're not the seven deadly sins. I bet that's what you were thinking, you cliche idiot.
No, I wasn't, but what were
I
the
raised my
little
hand.
ones?
I was.
What were the little ones?
Ah, the ones that screamed at your boy here?
Or the one that was staring at us I was going with?
Oh. Well, at least from as far as I know, the little one staring at you was curiosity.
Yeah, fair.
I feel bad.
The three other ones were more vague. The smaller the personality gets, the more vague the personality gets, but they were just some different portions.
So were you like
Fire is a personality.
different? Are you like parts of the same person's personality, hence the same mind thing and the same eyes and all that?
Ah, so I see the last horse finally crossed the finish line.
What part are you?
Didn't I say that already? You're not very
Yes.
you're not a very good listener, are you?
I'm gonna like kick the northern container.
Hey! Hey! Let me out so I can kill you!
No,
Let me out!
no. Do you have something we want?
I don't know, do I?
All right, that answers that.
It's a down to
Yeah.
the right.
He gets real rowdy sometimes.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can put me down, I'll follow you.
I don't trust that.
I shrug and look at Atlas. He's watching us one way or another, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I mean, I can either follow
Really
you and
just
watch
kinda
what you do,
pop.
or you can carry me along and I can watch what you do.
Alright, so I'm done staring at the battery, I guess.
So you come along, you see everything these guys see, you know that there's a deadly death thing in the upper container.
I feel like
Atlas,
he's not
just
that bad.
crush it or whatever.
Alright.
I
Toss him, Chucky. Just gonna. Like, how does this thing open?
This one seems like it has a similar, just you push it in, it unlocks a latch, and it just comes open.
Okay. Can I pick it up?
Roll physique. This thing is fairly heavy, it's fairly
Nope.
You try to pick it up, but it's at such an awkward angle.
Yeah.
There's just not really any doing it.
Gonna shake him around a bit before I went in there. But guess we're just going for this. I'm gonna press it open with my left hand, and with my right, as soon as I see anything, just reach in and grab it.
Alright, so you push the thing, the latch unlatches, and you lift it up. Roll a fight. Roll fight for me.
Jesus Christ.
So as you open this up, immediately just this little baby figure jumps out and tries to latch onto your face, and you grab it, and it's just flailing in your arms like, I'm gonna get you! I'm gonna get you! Let me go! Let me at him! Let me at him!
Alright, you know what? I'm gonna keep him. I'm gonna pat him on the head, tighten the grip around him, take him with us.
Nope.
Yes.
I look towards the ventriloquist. Are all the other ones babies?
I mean, you work with what you get.
Alright, so there's some little toy running around with what we're trying to get here.
That's what I'm thinking.
That would seem like a fair assessment.
So we just crush them all, and we keep following the compass, and we'll get it, and we'll get out of here.
We crushed the orb.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds like a good enough plan as any.
Is the compass pointing to the doll that I'm holding? Like the angry one?
It is not.
Okay.
Or
Which
I
way
guess
is
we
it?
have new friends. Doesn't
Just
really
gonna-
matter, I guess.
Look to Terry. Which way is the compass currently pointing? Still down here?
Yes.
Yep.
I step forward to Terry.
I'm holding both of them, I guess.
Gotcha.
It's kind of double fisting.
So
I
you've
look over
got
to
one that is limply just kind of sitting there with his arms crossed, and another one that is shaking violently.
I kind of look to
I'm
Terry
gonna
as
put the
we
chill one up on my horn.
approach him and approach the thing, whatever it is, and I'm just gonna be like, maybe if we gather most of them together or something. They'll help us. Alright.
Make a person again.
No, yeah, I mean we're all
Look-
basically a council, I guess.
It doesn't matter to me if we have dull friends or not.
I mean, I killed 3, but
I mean,
So what's
work
this
hard
thing?
enough, you'll have the whole playhouse.
Huh.
This appears to be, just examining it, a large water purifying machine. It's meant to purify water in very large quantities.
Is the compass pointing at it?
It is.
Atlas?
Terry,
Actually,
Terry, I
Yeah.
need you to make a notice roll. You can use your eyes for the prize thing.
All right. Oh yeah, finally positive.
Nice. I knew you could do it eventually.
Well, I guess I did shoot that stuff, so I mean, yeah.
You
Oh,
see
no.
poking around the corner a baby face that very quickly darts back around the corner.
All right. I'll shoot it. Whatever.
At this moment, you do not have visual of it.
Ah, okay. So it ducked behind.
Yeah, duck behind the water purifier.
so what was that? Did any of us,
Uh,
did any of the others see it? Or
From your position, you did not see it.
As I'm walking, I'm just gonna aloud be like, "All right, this is your one chance not to be in 15 different pieces."
wait!
As you round the corner, and as Atlas is like walking slowly, and Daeran is like chasing after you, you look at the baby, and it is standing there in front of this miniature little battery thing, and it's got a wire in its hand that is out and frayed and sparking.
oh Jesus!
And I need you guys to roll.
Resist explosion.
Not die.
If it's gonna try to blow stuff up, I'll try to blow us up harder. I'll shoot at it.
I don't know if that's the solution.
Well,
If you're gonna blow us up, I'll blow us up twice as hard, loser.
I need you
Exactly.
guys to roll athletics as there is a spark, boom, and this thing, you see it like pulse from the inside, and then bits of metal start falling off of it until the entire water purification tank just gives, and water splashes out, debris starts hitting you guys. The baby, it looks like it's completely destroyed itself in this little act. And let's see what we got here.
That's
all right.
my best roll with athletics today.
So, Daeran and Terry, you both take 1 point of physical stress. Atlas, you stand there resolute against the stream of water as it just goes around you. Bits of debris hit you, but they just clang off of your amazing pectorals.
So what's my maximum stress right now?
How many
3, I do
points in
believe.
physique do you have?
2.
You should have 3 stress boxes, I think.
Then I'm going to take a mild consequence instead of going unconscious.
Okay, what's your Oh, okay, yeah, you went ahead and took a mild consequence. So
Yeah.
you're bruised. No BD.
That reminds me, mental. Is that connected to will?
Yes.
I have +1. Should
So
I
how many
have?
stress boxes
then-
do you have?
I have 2 on mental.
Oh, well then you might need to take a mild consequence to avoid
Yeah,
being knocked
So-
out by the Earth, Wind, and Fire doll.
that would undo a lot.
So go ahead and take a mild consequence for your mental stress, and you've got a headache.
Got it. And that reduces it to 1. Or
And
does that reduce
that
all?
reduces it to all. It reduces
Okay.
all of it.
Okay, good. I am sorry. That
No.
one's on me.
No problem. We got it.
For the record, I am holding, or I have limp doll, the calm one now, just sitting on my horn. The other one, just let it sit under the water as it flows by.
No, yeah, the ventriloquist dummy is sitting there straddling your horn with one hand up on either side of it. And the angry one, I'm not going to continue screaming because that would be annoying.
Damn it.
But it is screaming, and you hear like the voice under the water, the eventually all the water drains away into little drainage slots on the floor, and yeah.
Has it been under the floor this whole time?
And as you look at the compass, it is now pointing to the left. Ah, there it goes again.
Yeah, can we see under these little floorboards?
You look under them. It looks like they're just because the nature of this room. It looks like there were just floor drains here for water.
Okay.
You're not sure where they lead out to, but you're fairly certain they don't connect to every single room in this facility.
All right.
Noticing the compass change, I kind of... Ow?
Yeah,
And I
you sure
start-
got rocked, bud.
So, what all personality bits are there? There's like, what, anger, rationality, whatever you'd want to call yourself. There's...
I wouldn't rack my brain over it too much. It can get pretty vague.
You can, but there's like, I don't know.
He's
Shyness.
vagueness.
Yeah.
Well, I'm more than just rationality. I'm also wisecracking and annoying.
You sure are. Atlas, are you about done with your toys? Because I am definitely done with everything going on down here.
I'm just gonna like move ahead, open the store.
Pop the angry one. And I'm gonna keep the chatty one.
Okay, you do it. The wispy smoke goes away. Daeran, you go ahead and open that door.
And I'm also gonna look to my left to make sure those doors are closed and nobody's approaching.
I mean, yeah, the doors do automatically close,
Okay.
so it doesn't look like anybody is approaching as of this moment.
Oh
Good.
no! What are those?
Okay, so what you see here is metal barrels. You then see what appear to be washing machines and drying machines. Washing machines on the right, dryers on the left. At the bottom, you see a storage container right next to what appears to be a hamper.
I'm gonna cautiously step in. Guys, I found the washing area and barrels.
Oh, good on you! You found the laundry room.
Yeah.
They
Good.
just follow behind.
Jab at this first barrel.
You do, and it sounds like there's fluid inside.
Just kind of progressively go down.
Alright.
So I want to cut all of them in half with my laser vision.
I'm gonna back up.
Yep, same.
All right, so point your eyes. Which one are you shooting at first?
I'm
Or are you just
starting,
doing like a big beam all the way across?
I'm starting at
Right
this
to
one and
left.
I'm just dragging it across every one of them.
Gotcha. So, as you start doing that, the smell of soured lavender enters the air as you cut across that one, and a copious amount of liquid laundry detergent spills onto the floor.
All right, I keep going then.
So yeah, you do it to all of them, and the floor is now covered in various scents of laundry detergent. And this entire area, the floor has the aspect slippery.
Great.
Was it just laundry detergent?
Yeah, it definitely is. Well, I saved us about 10 minutes on that mystery.
So you start looking around. What are you doing now?
I guess I'm getting to hear what are these stupid boxes.
So lining the right wall are washers, and the left wall are dryers.
And the compass was pointing this way.
Yep.
I'm just gonna start cutting it all in half. I don't care.
Okay. Yeah. So
I'm gonna stand back still.
Yeah, I
Just
back
like,
up.
Very clearly upset from all of this at this point. Just start cutting everything.
and cut you do as you just down the entire line of washers. They all collapse in on themselves. You see as there was a couple of babies in there waiting to surprise jump you that are
Right.
just dead, that are burnt completely in half. And you do it the same to the dryers. There didn't look like there were any babies hiding in there. You do the same to the storage container at the bottom. You see what looks like drying pads that set fire. Drying pad like fabric softener
Right.
strips.
Yeah.
Stuff that just sets fire, and again, this whole room smells like a Bath and Body Works that has caught fire.
Oh no.
And the room completely devastated. And sure enough, in a huff, you look at the compass, and it is pointing further left.
Yeah,
Did
I'm
you
just
find it yet?
gonna wait till I hear all the explosions calm down, then down on my see the same thing and
I'm
proceed
gonna
left.
I'm gonna run to wherever the stupid doll is.
It's on my head.
So I'm just gonna get like face to face with it and just try to blow his head off.
He says,
I move him to the side.
Okay, alright, so for the purposes of this then, Terry, roll your shoot, and Atlas, roll your athletics.
Damn it!
Okay, so yeah, as Atlas tries to move to the side, you take an arm off of this thing, and it says, "Oh, well, what do you know? I don't feel pain."
That's good to
Learn
know.
that now.
Terry looks still visibly very angry.
I kind of look at Terry, hold my hands in front of him. Look, no other team's gotten here yet. We're still in the lead as far as that's aware. I get it, these dolls are annoying, but we're doing better
right.
than probably Mr. Peanut Head.
The thing's still down here. We can still win. I'm not enjoying any of what's going on here.
Yeah,
I
I
pat
agree, the
him on the
dolls
head.
are annoying.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to the store now.
Okay, left one, gotcha.
Yeah. As we walk through, I'm gonna ask him, "Are you a teacher?"
No.
Oh,
Oh, I guess you're assuming that maybe I was a part of the test.
yeah.
No.
Oh.
So you're just annoying.
That seems to be the case, yes.
Is there any
I
way you
still
can
keep
help
them.
us, or...
I don't really feel inclined to.
I'm not saying you feel inclined to, I'm just saying you could,
I suppose that's true.
and we
So
wouldn't
we're all-
destroy you.
What are all these dumb things?
Those all appear to be cots.
Okay.
This area looks like it's decorated a little bit. I know it's not like that on the map, but it's decorated kind of in pinks and blues, and there are toys strung about. And there are 4 dolls sitting here that are just kind of sitting around each other, not even seeming to pay you guys any mind.
Alright. So assuming this is gonna go
We'll
exactly
shoot all of
like it
them.
is, exactly, I'm gonna walk over to the room, and I'm just gonna keep my eyes peeled for anything. I feel like there's a pattern here.
Alright, so you shoot at all of them, and
Oh, no.
you burn through all of them, and they're all dead. And as you do, Atlas, you go to the right, it appears to be more cots, but this room looks like it's much more geared towards adults with more of a drab, bland posters kind of like hanging their baby up on the wall. Hey, that's topical. And
As adults. Go ahead.
and you see 2 dolls who are standing on this cot, both staring directly at you.
Don't stand on the bed.
One of them starts cackling, and the other one looks very sad.
I'm gonna pick up the sad one and punt the cackling one.
Okay, you punt the cackling one, and it just shatters against the wall.
And pick up the sad one and, like in a comforting way, hold it gently.
You hold it in, like, the baby cradle way.
Yeah.
As you do, I need you to make another will check.
I made a mistake.
Of course you did.
I made a big mistake.
But they're both 0.
Yeah.
So, you feel this sense of morose sadness come over you, though you don't take any mental stress because of it. And it's just kind of looking up at you with a blank face at first, but then the plastic cracks along the eyebrows, which then look like they're drooping, like in
Okay.
a sad manner.
Nope. No, never mind. This thing's being thrown.
Terrifying.
And you throw it against the wall, and it just...
I look over at Terry. Compass change?
Does it, Chris?
Yeah. The compass looks like it's pointing to the bottom right from your perspective.
Of course it does.
Cool.
I say to Daeran.
I go here and look straight down.
I basically turn and just start like speed walking backwards, and I look for the one door we haven't opened, and I open this one.
There is a singular baby that is standing on top of this storage crate, and it looks surprised, and it is holding a black orb above its head.
I wave and then kind of beckon it.
It starts scrambling back for the vent it came out of.
I sprint after it and chuck my staff.
Alright. Make your athletics roll.
Yes.
Alright. You thunk it in the back of the head, and it splinters the plastic, it goes completely through its head, and the black orb falls and bounces a couple times and rolls, and then falls off the container and down into your hands.
Terry, go get Atlas, I got it!
And about this time, the ventriloquist dummy looks down at Atlas and says, "Oh dear.
What?
Well, I'm quite depressed now.
What?
Not that I necessarily have the capacity to feel that way, but it would appear I'm the only one left, bucko."
Do you want to come with us?
Not particularly.
I'm taking you in.
I don't know if I like that idea so much.
Oh, I start walking out the doorway with it, so.
Whenever he gets to the hallway with it, I'm just like, you drop that right now.
But we could throw him at Peanut Head.
I've never been thrown at a peanut head before, but I'm still not totally jazzed about this idea.
Fine. I like that idea. Let's go.
And,
As well as that, you also hear, coming from the room with all the panels in it, a scream.
The one
I guess
behind
I.
you?
Yeah. Like this.
Second.
Ah! Oh! And there looks like a barely conscious, partially naked man who looks like he's stumbling around the room.
Here, I don't.
I don't have a token for him, so now he's a baby. But he looks like a man.
I don't have a token for him, so now he's a baby.
Where did he come? What?
It looked like
Hobo.
It looked like there was a section of the table that was walled off, and it looks like there was a cot on the inside of it.
Oh, found a bone.
All right. So who's gonna hold the thing?
A doll?
No. Who cares about the doll?
I'm currently
I do.
holding the orb.
The whole reason we're here.
I currently have the orb.
The doll says, "Oh, there I am. I was wondering where I've been hiding."
Hey, Atlas.
Yeah.
So I want to like run at the guy and I want to punch him in the face.
What?
Destroy the doll and give this man part of his personality.
Can I grab his hand as I feel like I've seen this reaction enough to see it coming. Can I before he
You can
goes over to get him?
go ahead and make a fight roll, Terry. Atlas, I want you to make a notice roll.
Haha.
Okay, yeah, so you see Terry going forward, and you very quickly, you notice that he's, like, running forward, and you grab him by the scruff, or not by the scruff, but, like, by the back of the shirt, back of his jacket as he's running forward. And, Terry, you are caught off balance as you look back at Atlas, who's got you by the jacket. And the
I'm not
man...
looking to fight you. I gotta pass this dumb test first.
Terry, we got the orb. It's good. We can leave.
Ooh. Fine.
As I'm holding him, I'm just gonna take the doll off my head. Just gonna say, sorry. I'm gonna pop him. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna hold him out to Terry. Go ahead.
And I blow his head off.
And you do, and his head goes into a million bajillion pieces. And at that time, this wispy smoke looks like it enters this man, who stares at you all for a moment, and then passes out onto the ground.
I don't know who this is, but I hate him. Let's get out of this stupid place.
Dull people. I just start backing, turn around and slowly walking this way.
I'm
I
gonna
wait for
rip
them to
off
pass.
one of the. Will the jacket disqualify me if I C button, or is it like whoever they find it on?
It doesn't have like an identifier, so it won't be like, Atlas Clough has pressed his button.
Yeah. Okay.
It'll just send out like a beacon.
I'm gonna throw this next to him and hit the beacon button, and I guess we'll start walking out.
Yeah, you hear a soft little ding, ding, as the jacket, the button on the jacket is blinking red.
I wait for my allies to pass ahead of me so I get like in between, so I'm more defended from both directions. As we
Yep. I'm coming.
So I want to. We get back to where the cellar door is above us, and I just want to start like destroying the floor.
Yeah, and you do. You turn your laser eyes on, and everyone has to take a step back as you're just carving through the ground. And sure enough, you have revealed enough of a area where you could all stand on, and Daeran could lift you up.
I kind of hand Terry the orb. Hold this for a second.
Alrighty.
I stand.
Okay.
Yeah, they'll come get him. Come on, Atlas. Pick up Terry. I'll just stand close by.
All right. Pick up Terry.
Whenever you pick me up, I just want to be like, ooh, I don't like this a whole lot.
I put him on my shoulders.
All right,
And-
that's better.
I stand close to Atlas right under the pit, put my
This is
hands on the
acceptable.
ground, and put all of my power, as much as I can, into raising this pillar up and getting us out of here.
All right. So do you want to go ahead and roll your power? And if you're putting all you can spend a fate point and
That's the plan.
double the donk.
So I'll just add a modifier of 2, and
Ah, yeah. With that,
Noise.
easily enough, you. The pillar starts raising up, and one by one, you kind of help each other get up and out. So, you have the target object, and you can see at the top of the cylinder, there is one team that is standing there, and you can only see them because there appears to be a fight up there that is
Oh.
resulting in a couple of mild explosions and a lot
Seems
of
like a good
snow
fight.
falling down from the cylinder.
Well, I can only assume it's Jiff and his guys waiting at the end.
they're having a rough tussle with
All right.
probably... I kind of look up there and try to think. The people with, like, the rocket feet, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea what's causing those explosions.
So you want us to roll athletics to cross back over?
Unless anybody's got a better idea.
Can I try and? I mean, this is still going to involve that, but just to maybe ease it on myself. Can I try and chuck them across, maybe into the
I'll be
deep snow?
fine.
Do I still have waterlogged? Real quick question.
At this point, yes, because
Okay.
you guys were splashed with water again. You're still waterlogged just because even though you were starting to dry off, you got wet again.
Yeah. Makes sense. Forgot about that.
So, Terry, you said you'd be fine, so if you want to go ahead and roll your athletics, you can.
Okay.
Yeah, easy enough. You bound right back across like the nimble gazelle you are.
I look at Atlas. You want to what?
Bro.
How will you get across?
And I just crack out the wing.
Schlorp, schlorp.
Yeah.
I look down at the river. Is there any, like, dirt I could press my hand against above the water? Or is that all snow?
It looks like it's all pretty much snow.
I mean, I can try and dig out a little pocket real quick.
I guess throw me. I don't have the orb, so I can't lose it.
All right. Gonna pick him up. I'm gonna give it a little spin, and then just sidearm him over the
All right,
river.
yeah, go ahead and roll your. Yeah, go ahead and roll your physique.
Good luck.
And
All right, so you're going to get
pushed it right in the water.
you're going to get very little help. Essentially, much like a kid being pushed in the water to learn to swim. He is essentially, it's a little more than just like pushing you towards the water. So go ahead and make your athletics roll.
I don't have any way to spend a fate point, do I?
No,
Nope.
no, I wouldn't think
I'd
so.
like to just run in, pick him up, hold him up again, and walk through.
Well, now hold on. You watch and you're about to be like, oh no, but you see that he trips a little bit, but he's able to get his footing and hop to the other side, leaving you sole on the other side of the river. Basically, you just kind of gave him a push that was like, all right, ready or not, try to cross the river.
All right, then I'll get my little backwards. I'll go back a bit, and I'll try and get a good start before I make this bound.
Yeah, go ahead and roll your athletics. Also, because you've got the wings, never mind, you got it.
You got it.
In the second time you've seen from Atlas, in a surprising fashion.
These things are not meant this well.
Well, to be fair, like, Atlas isn't as big as, we're describing him, if he's only
Yeah.
6'2".
That's true.
Still,
We're still describing him as if he's like this 8-foot tall monstrosity.
Because there are, like, kids that are 15 or 16 that are, like, 6'2", 6'3".
but Atlas is a bulky boy.
Yeah,
Right,
Still,
he's
This is the
wide.
whole reason I've been.
still surprising for his weight. He
Yeah.
bounds across the way, the wings fluttering seemingly to help him across the gap. And he lands with a giant puff of snow on the other side of the river alongside the rest of you.
My eyes just wide as that
Pop out of the
happens.
snow with a little, snow cap. Shake it off.
Go
That
ahead,
was fun.
Terry, make a notice check.
Already.
Atlas, you're busy. Daeran, you're busy looking at Atlas. Terry, you look upwards, and you can see in the sky what appears to be, at least from this distance, the kite girl with Domino and Cloud, as they are just flying across the way to get back to the center.
All right.
So you now know that there are 2 teams at the center, 1 team on their way there, which means there are 2 teams unaccounted for.
So, we're just going to go toward the side closest to the water of the big middle piece. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you. The
Okay.
big cylinder, you're
Yeah.
going there.
I'm just going toward that, the closest bit of it.
All right. Yeah, a few minutes pass by as you're tromping your way through there. I assume you're still making your little path through the snow.
Right.
And you get there just to the side. It looks like most of the snow and ice that was on the side of the cylinder has been knocked off through all the explosions and fighting on the top. There is now about... The snow already is like 5 feet tall. Just massive, unrealistic almost snowfall. But around the edge of this, it gets up to 10 and in some places 15 feet high, pressed against the edge of the cylinder.
All right. So I want to start.
The cylinder, which itself is about 35 to 40 feet up.
Right, and you're probably gonna have me roll shoot for it, but I want to start carving out to what equates to a staircase in this.
That's gonna be pretty tough.
Yeah. Or at least like footholes. Is that one?
That'd be a bit easier.
All right.
Or that'd be significantly easier than trying to carve out an entire staircase.
All right. Then I'm just gonna start
Can you get a
shooting
railing on
like holes to put my hands and feet.
All right, so you are attempting to create an advantage. Can you? My dog's bark. You hear a chihuahua barking in the distance. You are
Oh, golly.
confused.
Puppy.
So you're going to go ahead and you're trying to create an advantage. So go ahead and roll your shoot.
Oh no! Bloop bloop.
Yeah, so you shoot at it, and you start trying to make handholds, but they are so sporadically placed that there are some places where you just couldn't reach the handholds above except for by like jumping, and you're not necessarily confident in your American Ninja Warrior skills.
I mean, says you. I'll go for it.
So how do you proceed from here?
Am I just by myself, or if Daeran and Atlas showed up at this point?
Or would have caught up?
Oh yeah, they've definitely caught up.
Okay.
You guys would have caught up along the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
If he's going up first, I'm gonna fall behind and see if the holes that he's making a little deeper.
I mean, you could
dig my
definitely
hands into them.
You could definitely try to like punch them wider. The problem is that they are so
They're
far
distant.
apart. Yeah, they're so far apart from each other in certain places that no matter how big the handholds are, there's just no reaching some of them from where they are.
Okay. I thought it was making out as like, 1, 2, 3, 4, just pretty chunked together going up.
I want
I
to kneel
get it.
down and kind of try to pull out another staff out of the ground. Because I
Yeah.
threw my old one, so.
Yeah, with a little bit of effort, you kick over some snow in one of the paths that Terry's made and get another staff out.
Awesome.
You
Hey,
were
look.
knowing how to handle it before. There's still a little bit of sputtering as the excess water is being pulled out,
Yeah.
but you get the dirt and you get your staff.
Alright. I'm assuming we're at the pillar, yeah?
Yeah.
I look up towards it. I look at Atlas. Hold my staff up. And make a motion as if I'm stabbing into something. I just want to say, throw me up there.
I feel like that's going to be really hard.
I couldn't
Are
throw
you
you
sure?
across a river, but you want me to throw you 30
Yeah.
feet into the air? Okay.
I got faith in you, Atlas.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah.
If I use a fate point, can I try to shoot hand and footholds in this big dumb thing again?
Sure.
Okay.
Wasn't it that we couldn't just use them on...
With your
Well, it
power,
has to be with
you
our
can.
power.
Oh, okay.
But remember that using a fate point steps your power down by one category.
Okay. I'll just dang it. I'm gonna re-roll it and it's gonna be -1, and I'm like, guys, I can't see anymore. Whatever. I'm gonna re-roll it.
I believe in you.
Yeah,
The same
definitely
thing.
worth it.
So as your vision blurs, as you are putting extra effort, you actually crack some of the rock, and where you were trying to shoot the footholds, just a large portion of stone comes falling forwards, and you just barely dodge out of the way.
Good. That's all I ever wanted.
And now,
I got my rock, and now
you
I'm
need
happy.
some prescriptions.
Yeah, I do.
I mean, I guess now I'm just chucking... chucking there.
Yeah, go ahead and make your physique roll. You throw Daeran up into the air. From your position, you're already about 10 feet up, so there's only about 20, 25 feet to throw him. You get him about 15, and
I'm gonna try to jam my staff into the wall and try to hold myself up there and
And
jam it in there and grab the edge and
all right.
know.
I'm going to be ready to grab them. or catch them.
Go ahead and when you do this, roll your power.
my power.
Yeah, and physique. Roll both of those.
Oh, okay. -1 and 1.
That
Okay.
makes 0.
Well,
You jammed it real hard, but the staff broke.
so
Yeah.
you jam it in, and you are very shakily on. It looks like if you tried to shift your weight on it in any way, it would just pop right out. And the staff itself, it does look like it's starting to crack.
And I just want to kind of scramble and to make footholds and stuff. Like, this is mostly like ice and snow, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's the actual side of this is rock.
Oh.
Rock, you say?
As I'm holding on, I'm going to reach down right below my feet and kind of pull out a small platform I can just stand on. Attempt to.
All right, so go ahead and roll your power because you are in a very precarious situation.
Yeah.
Man, if I also thought it was just ice. Otherwise, I would have been like, "Hey, idiot! Here,
Hey, idiot, do something.
I guess I should have been more specific.
It's okay. I just thought since everything else was ice.
Yeah. So you pull about a foot out, and you're able to kind of stand on it. You've still got to like hug the wall so you don't fall backwards. From where you are, it looks like a little bit of a hop, and you could grab onto the edge.
All right, I look down towards Atlas, and instead of pulling Earth out, I want to reach down what I'm standing on, put both hands on the edges, and try to move it up as if it's like sliding along, as in literally just moving upwards.
Elevator.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. So you're trying to take your little platform and push it
Like,
up the wall.
up. Yeah, not make it bigger, not anything, just whoop.
Yeah. All right, I'd say you've had practice in pushing things up before, so it's going to be a little bit easier, but go ahead and roll your power just to maintain the shape.
Nope.
That's rough, buddy.
Just waiting, arms open.
If you want, you could spend that there fate point.
I'm gonna go to Atlas and just like be like, all right, launch me.
If I spend a fate point to re-roll, does that still weaken my power?
Yes.
So it'd be a 0.
Yep.
All right.
I'm gonna launch
I'll
Terry while this is happening.
re-roll.
Off of the stupid rock.
Should I still re-roll?
Well, okay, go ahead and wait to reroll until we determine what happens here. So as you are like reaching down to grab the side of this and you start to channel your will into it, you see a blur of like fluorescent yellow because that's the color of the jackets. There we go. And you see as Terry flies up past you and lands in kind of a scramble on the platform above. And Terry, as you kind of look down to take in what's happening down there, you see as Daeran's platform starts to shake and crack a little.
I just stop. I look up, and I jump and hold a hand out for him.
Man, here's the thing. I wouldn't even have turned around to have seen what you were doing. I would have gone for the goal.
Does he go for the... Okay, then I jump and I try to grab the ledge.
All right, go ahead and roll your physique.
You hold the hand out thing.
Nice. Getting that good.
You just dug your claws in there. No big deal.
So you
I shift the ground to pull me up.
You jump up there and you grab onto the edge, and as it starts to as your hands start to slip on it, you channel just a fraction of your will into the side, just enough to basically make this little finger hold of ledge, and you pull yourself up as you watch Terry just jogging to the finish line. And there, just to explain the scene a little bit, you see as Jiff is there with Lauren and Peter, and they are currently fighting against the guy with the gray skin, the soot guy, and the rocket girl. And what looks like it's happening is Jiff is, of course, just spraying peanut butter everywhere. Kamikaze...
I am sorry.
But the soot-covered guy is standing there looking almost asleep as Rocket Girl is currently blasting the face and fists of the gray-skinned guy with her rocket legs, superheating him to where he is red, orange, white hot as he goes forward and starts trying to punch at Peter Pogo, who is jumping all around.
Jesus Christ.
Dude, Peter Pogo's gonna die.
Yeah.
He's
White hot?
Yeah. And Peter Pogo is just jumping all around him, trying to get at the black orb that it looks like he's got in his jacket, kind of tied around his waist.
So Chris, is there there's the pole there. Is there like someone I'm supposed to give this to, or do I just go to the pole?
No, it looks like the pole. The pole has what looks like 3 little divots at the ground where it looks like these would just slot into.
All right, I'm gonna run over and put it in one of the divots.
I'm gonna try to create a staff out of stone, or more like a small, like a glow stick, like glow stick sized rod, and I'm just gonna ready it to throw at anybody that tries to go after Terry.
All right.
I'd like to
Meanwhile,
attempt to climb the cliff too.
I was about to say, meanwhile, Atlas is down there like, guys. Go
I
ahead.
mean, I'm just gonna try and take the path holds just for any kind of help.
Gotcha. Go ahead and roll athletics. You're not going to get a whole lot of help from the path.
Yep.
Okay, so that's enough that you are slowly ascending. You're not going to get there for a little bit. But, Terry, as you start running towards the goal, Jiff notices you, and you see a cheeky smile come across his face, and peanut butter just spreads all around the ground in front of you.
That's
Man.
when I want to chuck it at Jiff.
I feel like I'm faster than him though.
That's when I want to chuck it at Jiff. The
Like,
second he
he's
starts
like-
spraying the peanut butter.
I have the sprinter stunt. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, you are pretty fast, but it's the difference between you running and him seeing and then holding
Right.
his hand out.
All right, that's fair.
All
right.
Throwing this at Jiff.
Okay, so go ahead and roll your athletics to throw your little thing. Okay, so it doesn't do any harm, but as it hits him, it hits him in the nose, and it doesn't look like it hurt him any, but as it hits, it shatters, and dust gets into his eyes. And he's like, oh, jeez! Oh, of all the things!
And I'm gonna start sprinting up there, like at an angle, so I go in between Terry and the fight that's going on as he's going towards the goal,
Gotcha.
just to intercept anything.
So, Terry, you start making your way, deftly dodging over the small amount of peanut butter Jiff got out before he got dusted in the eyes.
God, that sounds bad.
Yeah. And Jiff starts trying to rub at his eyes, but he gets peanut butter in there, and he's like, oh, God, even more! And sure enough, Terry, you make it to the goal, and Atlas, you have just crested over the hill by the time you see Terry put it down into the divot, and it shines with a red light, and then the light goes away, and you guys, you look, and your compass is making a beeping sound, and it looks like it is pointing towards the north, where you now see a door has lit up yellow.
I just got up.
What
I
does that mean?
start heading towards the door.
Yeah.
And you hear over the intercom that says, the team comprised of Atlas, Daeran, and Terry are no longer in combat. Do not engage.
Darn. I was
I'm
going to
gonna-
run over and punch Jiff in the face.
I'm gonna do like a fist pump in the air, in victory as I go towards the door and just
Gotcha.
go in there.
So
Just
you
gonna
guys,
wave bye to everyone.
you guys make your way. You jump off of the cylinder and land harmlessly in the snow below. It's fun. You guys are like, wee!
Woo!
And you hear as there's another voice over the intercom that says, the team consisting of Claudia, Kyrie, and Dominic are no longer in combat. Do not engage. And from your right, as you're just about to walk through the door, you see what looks like a giant cloud of snow being kicked up into the air as Turbo Teen sails through the air with her teammates at her back as they are trying to make up for lost time, having not found a black sphere.
I just want to cup my hands around my mouth and be like, kick the crap out of that stupid peanut guy. As they're off.
And you hear Turbo Teen in in the distance as she's soaring through the air go, "Woohoo!" And with that, you walk through the door and you enter into a very nice wood floor fireplace. There's hot cocoa all ready for you, and there's a couple of police people standing there just as security. And there at the in the corner of the room are a couple of the teachers. There's President Mike there standing next to Principal Nezu. And they're just kind of discussing, and when they see you come through, Principal Nezu looks and says, "What?"
Disgusting?
Discussing.
Discussing.
Like,
first thing I do-
Conversation.
They're just kind of
First thing-
disgusting.
They look really gross.
Seeing the hot chocolate on the table, first thing I do is grab a mug of that and just start to warm up. Don't like the cold.
Just like hold it against your face and
So, they look at us whenever we walk in, right?
yeah.
I want to be like, sorry it took so long, knowing that we're the first team to finish.
Oh man,
President Mike is like,
I think we did great.
Principal Nezu says, "Congratulations, students. I'm happy to see that some of you have finally passed through this portion of the exam. I'm sure it wasn't too difficult, was it?"
Easy peasy.
Who
No,
was
I-
Puppet Man?
I'm sorry.
Puppet Man.
There was a puppet guy down at the bunker.
Will
one of the
someone
orcs.
more eloquently spoken please explain in more words?
There was a man who
Dude.
split up his personality into puppets and dolls down in the bunker. And I point in the direction the bunker is at. He had one of the orbs. The one
I
that...
put emergency jacket on him.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
What?
And around this same time, you hear you hear both of the police officers,
Walkie-talkie?
yeah, their walkie-talkies go off. And you hear some mumbling over, and they both lean into it and start listening. And sure enough, they're like, "You said someone was in the bunker?"
Yeah.
Alright, yeah, alright, that checks out. And they exit the room, and Principal Nezu says, "Well, I apologize to have put your lives in such danger. I didn't intend to expose you to any real trouble along the way."
What?
We fought a villain without knowing?
Don't worry. Like I told you, zero problem.
He really wasn't a problem. It's just...
Ooh,
What?
kind of annoying.
Well, that wasn't planned to be there. It was planned to just be an empty bunker that we did our best to make up as it was like it was supposed to be lived in. There wasn't anybody in there before.
Huh.
4 crates. One only had food left.
Oh dear. Oh
That's-
dear, oh dear.
That's a little, alarming.
Yes, I would say it is. But on the upside, I think that's even more evidence that you're UA worthy.
I just throw up both my hands. Bonus point!
Well, I mean, thanks, I guess.
Go ahead and warm up by the fire, have some cocoa. You might have to stay behind a little bit to undergo an investigation. They'll probably need to get some statements from you, but otherwise, congratulations on being the first out of your category to finish.
The
I'm
second he
very
said go
impressed.
warm up by the fire, I just kind of speed walk over there and take a seat. Mm-hmm.
Is
Will
President
do.
Mike? Is President Mike still by him?
Yeah, he's just standing there like he looks kind of terse, kind of a little upset by the news, but otherwise standing there still.
So I want to be like, President Mike, is there anything after this?
No, I think other than you guys probably having to give the police a statement, I think we've learned all we need to know, and sure enough, I think your lot at least are UA material.
All right.
Well, congratulations then.
Thanks.
You.
I appreciate you being the host with the most.
You know it, baby.
I want to give him the finger guns back because I know he did it.
I literally did it to the microphone.
I want to give him the finger guns back.
And with that,
He liked Earth, Wind, Fire.
who doesn't?
That's goofy.
So, as you are sitting there, you see as Dominic, Kyrie, and Claudia come into the room. Dominic, of course, is Domino. Kyrie's Kite. Claudia's Cloud.
Yeah.
And they all enter the room and they see you. And Dominic waves his hand and is like, "Oh, hey!"
I give Dominic a thumbs up. Nice to see you guys passed as well.
I mean, it
Oh.
wasn't too hard. Jiff was kind of distracted, so we just kind of did a slam dunk.
Yeah, you're welcome for that.
Yo, wasn't that girl with like the fire feet up there?
No, yeah, Roxy was there.
Whose team was she on?
Skips.
Okay,
Skip and Mickey.
I'll accept it.
All right.
So you see as Kyrie goes and she similarly grabs some cocoa and sits by the fire. And Claudia, she's just kind of standing there, not really doing a whole lot. After a little while, you don't hear the intercom sound off, but you definitely see the door open as Skip, Mickey, and Roxy walk through, each with a look of tiredness. Mickey is currently covered head to toe in peanut butter. But they each look happy. They look valiant. They look victorious. Mickey is the blonde guy with the soot. Skip is the guy with the gray skin. Roxy's the girl with the rocket feet. Mickey is given a towel and a set of sweat clothes. And after cleaning himself off, they're all just kind of sitting and relaxing in there.
I'm gonna offer him some hot chocolate. Mickey, when he was cleaning off.
He takes it and says, "Oh, hey, thanks.
I don't like peanut milk.
I'm
And
not
then
a
just
huge
walk off.
fan." And you watch as Skip grabs a cup of cocoa and he starts drinking it down, and he goes over to Daeran by the fire and he just puts his hands directly in the fire.
My mouth, my jaw just opens wide for a second. But that's fire.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty crazy, right? And then he similarly turns around, leans back, and sets his head on top of one of the logs.
What are you doing?
Man, that was rough. I am not looking forward to more of that.
I want to try it too. I'm just gonna poke my finger in the fire.
You do, and it's okay for a second until it gets past your chitinous armor, and then it starts to burn real bad.
Oh.
Oh,
Put it
what do
in
you
my
know?
nose.
We don't have the same quirk. Who would have thought?
Just like in my own head, I'm like, I like him.
And you eventually Jiff and Lauren and Peter come in, followed by the other people who you don't know the names of, but that you eventually learn names are Reba, Ken, and Macy. Reba being the one with the mesh fingers, Ken being the guy with like the stressed out arms, and Macy being Turbo Teen. And everyone's just kind of mulling about in there for a few minutes, getting ready. If you have anything you want to say to each other, you can do it now. Otherwise, I'm just going to kind of go into the epilogue.
Oh man, did Turbo Teen punch Jiff or get Jiff like I asked?
You look at Jiff, and he does look like he's got a big bruise on his face.
Ooh yeah, I just want to give her a thumbs up.
She looks back at you, and she looks a little defeated, but she still gives a thumbs up and kind of chuckles a little bit.
All right, so I mean, just to pretend I'm talking to her, what's the epilogue?
All right, so as you guys are kind of talking and milling about and just kind of discussing with each other, Principal Nezu stands on top of a little podium, and talks to you all, and he says, "Well, you were the first battle group to completely conclude, so I'll go ahead and give you your little going away speech. That sounded bad. I don't mean that.
Can you have calculated this?
Though I am the world's smartest tiny mammal, sometimes I misspeak. Regardless, after viewing through the video cameras and from your own personal experiences, I've determined that all of you are UA material. You may not have won this competition, but you've made it up to this far, and I believe that with proper encouragement and increasing your quirk's powers and practice, you would be able to become true heroes and graduate as some of the top heroes from this school if given enough encouragement. So, I would
Peanut
all...
Head made it.
What's that? Oh yeah, Peanut Head definitely made it. And he says, "So I thank you all for being a part of this exam. I apologize for some of you for getting in more danger than you were ready to take on, though I'm glad to see that everything has resolved. We will be excited to have you in class starting next week. And until then, everyone may leave when ready, except for Terry, Daeran, and Atlas. Please stay behind so that the police can have a word with you."
Yes,
And
sir.
everyone just kind of looks at you, kind of confused, like, police. And you actually
I shrug.
you hear Mickey going like, what do the police need with you?
I kind of look over towards like
I don't know,
I'm
there's like
skipping
some
Mickey.
homeless guy we fought down in the cellar or something.
Apparently, we fought an actual villain who wasn't supposed to be here.
He had no
Everyone looks kind of surprised. And then you hear Chihuahua in the background again.
president.
And President Mike is like, "Man, that thing just keeps getting out. I'll go get it." And when Jiff hears about the villain, you see him talking to Lauren and Peter, and he looks a little, he kind of sneers at you guys a little bit. He looks a little, almost jealous that you guys got to prove yourselves in such a way.
I am just gonna stare him down.
I'm gonna
Just
not even bother with him.
make him
Didn't even
fear
notice
me.
it.
I'm just gonna make him fear me.
I'm just gonna sit there and keep warming up.
And eventually everyone funnels at... Oh,
He
done.
fears me.
No, yeah, he like looks at you and he tries to look hard at you, but seeing just the dead eyes under the shady helmet of chitin, he eventually like looks away and puts his fat hands between it, or pulls his fat hands into a crossed position and looks away. And eventually everybody funnels out and the police take you into a questioning little area they've got set up. It's just a table, 3 chairs on one side, 1 chair on the other. And he takes a picture and he slides it across the table to you guys, and it is a picture of what appears to be the quote-unquote homeless man, but he looks more well taken care of in this picture. And he says, "Marvin Harvey, 35, employment, unknown, assume none, went off the grid several years ago. Quirk, as far as we're aware, we don't have an official name for it, but it appears to be a form of possession of inanimate objects that have humanoid forms by way of splitting up personality and placing them into the vessels."
Ventriloquist.
That's a pretty fair way of putting it, yeah. From our investigation into his hospital and psychiatric records, it appears that he does not have control over which section of his personality he splits off. Therefore, our going hypothesis is that he first split off his rational part, leaving a paranoid, crazy madman behind who continued to split his personality into several parts as a way of protecting himself until nothing was left in his body.
Oh,
We
okay.
We also have determined that whenever a vessel is taken out, that portion of his personality goes back to the main body, and after a certain amount has gone back, he can regain consciousness. However, he regains as well the memories and the thoughts of each of those bits of personality split off, which leads us to believe that he at least has some sort of unstable mental condition. The lobby's still out onto whether or not he has multiple personality disorder, but From our studies in biology mixed with quirks, we assume he at least has something along those lines. Am I missing anything?
Other than I tore that place up, not really.
Oh, it was a training facility, so no harm, no foul.
All right. That's kind of
Lived under desk.
Yeah, we've also determined that.
Okay.
All right then. If all that sounds right, then I'm gonna go ahead and ask two of you to leave the room. And his demeanor kind of gets a little more sour, and he says, "I'm gonna need to ask you guys some questions."